What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. I feel like after this masterclass of a performance from Jayden Daniels against the Eagles, I think he locked up Offensive Rookie of the Year. There's a lot of reasons as to why I think he locked it up, and I think he's just been awesome. Not to say that other guys haven't. There's other guys like Brock Bowers and Brian Thomas Jr. who have been exceptional, but I think Jayden's going to take the award in large part because of, let's just call it expectation, right? I guess it's fair to say we didn't expect Bowers to be like this dominant, and same for Brian Thomas Jr., but expectation of the team. People did not think the Commanders were going to be as good as they are. Most people, myself included, thought they were going to be like a 6-win team, and it was going to be, first year of really rebuilding, got a quarterback hopefully, and figuring things out. But when you have a quarterback that plays as well as Jayden Daniels has, it expedites that whole process because they went from being a team that I thought would win maybe 6 games to now they're pretty much locked in for the playoffs. And that's a massive increase. And it really happened because of who their quarterback is. Sure, they changed coaching. They added some defensive players that have played really well to this point. But it all comes down to who your quarterback is. Because if your quarterback is ass, your team's going to be ass. That's just how this goes. Jayden Daniels has been a dog. And statistically performs as like a top 5 quarterback. Which is absurd for a rookie. We've seen it happen a couple times in the past 4 or 5 years. One with C.J. Stroud, happened with Justin Herbert a little bit. But I guess Herbert didn't have as much wins, obviously. He had crazy numbers. Stroud had crazy numbers and the wins. Jayden's got crazy numbers, wins, and is just playing well let's not act like it's the greatest set of talent around him in the world. So let's talk about Jayden on top of it, because on the season, it's pretty damn remarkable. 3,303 yards through 15 games. That's when this is being recorded after that Philly game. And let's put it this way. He played 15 games, but he left one of them after the first drive. So in reality, he really only played 14 games. But 3,303 passing yards, 737 rushing yards. So you've got over 4,000 all-purpose yards in effectively 14 games. And then 22 passing touchdowns and 6 rushing touchdowns. So you're basically averaging a couple touchdowns a game. And you're being a threat all over the field, as people really hoped he would be, and he's proven to be. But those numbers are crazy good. And when you look at that Eagles game that just happened, where they turned the ball over 5 times, granted 2 of them were him, your team turns the ball over 5 times and you still pull out the win. That goes a lot to show, especially it's a comeback win too, where you're 2-minute drilling it up and you're just slinging the rock, running 4th and 11, converting, just making huge plays after huge plays. That was the statement game of the year for him, I think. And obviously Hurts was out, and is the game probably different? Probably. But you can only play who's in front of you, and he stepped up when it absolutely needed to happen, because he accounted for, I think, 334 yards or something like that and 5 touchdowns against the number 1 ranked defense in the Philadelphia Eagles, who have been stomping out everybody. And he put on a clinic, just to give the guy credit. Eagles being one of my teams that I avidly root for, that was a masterclass right there. 1 or 2 throws where you're like, oh, I wish I had that back. But that was something different. That was some special stuff. And I think with that game, that's just that's the signature win that stamps him getting the Offensive Rookie of the Year, in my opinion. But when you look at him as a totality of a quarterback, he's averaging about 270 all-purpose yards, passing and throwing, per game. 270 yards that's a great number, a very damn good number. And he's averaging about a couple touchdowns a game, which is nice because he did have a little bit of a stretch where he wasn't throwing as many of them, but he's been picking it up. And then this is the metrics that really evaluating quarterbacks is probably some of the best ones to pay attention to. We'll start with completion percentage, 69.7%. If you don't know, that's really damn good. And where that ranks is 5th in the NFL. You're top 5 in completion percentage as a rookie. That's really good. He has a 101.3 passer rating, which is 9th in the NFL. So you're top 10 in passer rating, you're top 5 in completion percentage, and here's really the best one, 71.9 QBR, which is 4th in the NFL. And all of this, I just want to point out, is while being sacked, I think, the 7th most in the league. I think he's been sacked 38 times in 14 or 15 games, technically. And that's the 7th most in the league. So it's not like he's just sitting in clean pockets, all pretty, jersey's clean, and dudes are just getting wide open. No, he's getting smashed in there every once in a while. And even when he's getting smashed like that, he's still throwing dimes. And I think that's the true mark of a quarterback that is going to stand in there and take a hit, and he's going to deliver it right on the spot. And he does that more times than not, and more times than the average quarterback, to be completely honest. But what do we want to see out of a franchise quarterback? We want to see him elevate the guys around him. Right, like we've seen Zach Ertz have kind of a resurgence especially in the second half of the season, seen him kind of have a resurgence back into being a solid tight end. Brian Robinson Jr., minus the injuries and stuff, has been really, really good. He had a terrible game against Philly, but outside of that, the injuries in the Philly game, Brian Robinson Jr. has been having his best year as a pro. And now here's Terry McLaurin, who has been praying to the heavens to get a legit quarterback, is on pace to have a career year. And that you're looking at right now through 15 games, 73 catches, 1,029 yards, and 12 touchdowns. I'm just going to tell you right now that his pace for the rest of the season, there's only 2 more games, his pace is 83 catches, 1,166 yards, and 14 touchdowns. Here's the crazy part. The last 3 years, before this year, the prior 3 years, he had a total of 14 touchdowns. That's what happens when you get a good quarterback. So yeah, I think he's doing a great job elevating the guys around him, making plays when they absolutely have to happen, just converting crazy 4th downs against Philly, and just he's really damn good. And this is what's going to be nice for the Commanders. Is I don't know what their cap situation looks like, but you have a rookie quarterback now who's on a cheap contract, and you're going to be able to have really, let's call it 3 or 4 years now to let's go just build the best team possible and try to get the best players in here and build towards going to win a championship, because this is the time to do it. Because once he's making, by the time Jayden goes up for his next contract, the contract's probably going to be $70 million for a quarterback. So you have this window to capitalize on it and get him one and try to win a Super Bowl, which if you're asking the Commanders, if you would have talked to them 12 months ago to say that you're going to enter a window where you have a chance to maybe win a Super Bowl in the next 4 years, they would call you crazy. I would call you crazy as hell. But when you hit on a quarterback like this, it changes the whole dynamic of what your franchise is going into. So, yeah, there's not too many guys that come into the NFL and light it up like this and lead his team to wins. And obviously, it's a full-blown team effort. Let's be honest, I think they were an extra point away in the Dallas game from having 10 or 11 wins right now. And Jayden's really just the biggest reason behind it all. Everybody else has done their part, which has been nice, because it's rare for rookie quarterbacks to get this much help that he has gotten. Like Terry McLaurin has been amazing. You see Zach Ertz coming back into form a little bit. Brian Robinson's been really good, and then the defense forcing some turnovers here and there, and they're winning these games. Now, they haven't beat a ton of great teams or anything like that, but when you go, lay your flag on the number 1 defense in the NFL and put up, 340 yards and 5 touchdowns or whatever he did, that's the biggest statement that any rookie is going to be able to make. So, shout out to Jayden Daniels. I think he's Offensive Rookie of the Year. Let me know if you disagree, if you have a guy like Brian Thomas Jr. or Brock Bowers. I think those guys have been awesome. I'm not going to say those dudes don't deserve it at all. I just think Jayden, given the value of the quarterback position, what the team was supposed to be, and how well he's played through this whole thing, while not having great pass protection all the time, it's a lot of good stuff. Rookie quarterback's got a lot more to manage than a rookie tight end or a rookie receiver. So I'm hyped up about Jayden. I think the Commanders absolutely nailed it, and I think he's going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. But if you're new to the channel, please subscribe if you like this kind of content. Please like the video. Really, really appreciate y'all for watching. Shout out Jayden Daniels. The man's going to be really damn good for a really long time. So I'm done. Peace.